Excellent stuff. So as we move on now through the tracks, we break the almighty top 10, and it's quite exciting. From 2011, we've got a brand new track from Adaro. This is Haunter of the Dark. From Adaro there. You know what that means, Sam? If we get to number 10 and we're doing the top 1,000, that means we're 99% of the way through.
So there's 1% left to go. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What a journey, what a marathon.
So many great tunes. And I'm thinking with all them absolute anthems that we have, like, you know, what could possibly be even bigger or better than what we've had so far. You know, it's kind of these forgotten classics that must be in there that it's like I'm not thinking of, because I've tried my best to not look at the list. I want the surprise as we go along.
Right, okay, well, I'm looking at it now. The next one that comes along is a bouncy number. It's one of those ones that for me, you know, another scene changer, another game changer, because when I heard this, I didn't know that, you know, music could be so bouncy, uplifting, yet just generally fun. It's not cheesy too much. You know, there's a certain level with some tracks where it's just over the top, it's cheesy, and just, no, it's unacceptable. You know, it's the heart clogging stuff. This isn't one of those. Yeah,
you see, this track was a real trendsetter as well, because it's like as soon as this track came out, there was just an influx of, like, you know, influence when people coming out, not necessarily ripping it off, but, you know, it's like when something like, you know, when Benny Benassi's Satisfaction came out, and then it just, like, influenced how everybody was producing music at the time. And that happens in the hardstyle scene as well. And Absolutely. This track was a great example of that. It's dropped down a couple of places since last year, but that doesn't mean anything at this stage, because it's, you know, it's still in the top 10. And I'm sure it's going to be in the top 10 forever, because it's just such an absolute hardstyle anthem. In at number 9 from D Block and Estefan, this is Music Made Addict. super bouncy, this one in the background now, from D-Block and Estefan. In at number 9, it's Music Made Addict. That kind of like cements itself in there. It's like, I'm sure it'll bob around. Next year it might go up a couple. Year after it might go down a couple. Next year, up a couple. It's always going to be there.
Absolutely.
Massively influential track.
And just it goes to show, like, that in these top 10, there are tracks that are way old, then, 11 years old, that are still rocking it, that are still there, still the people's favourite. So, Music Made Addict could be one of those that just floats around, just like you said. But the thing
you never know. It's like if people started playing it again, it could like climb considerably. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
maybe in a future year. Do
you think that will happen? Do you think people will dig that out and start playing it again? Is that one that you're going to start?
Well, I think it could be, because it's like, what we've been doing is discussing all the way through the show how now there seems to be a bit of a rift in the scene at the moment, where there's the really rough stuff and then there's the real crossover stuff. And then there's, a traditional bouncy hardstyle like that. That's, you might suddenly drop that and just get an absolutely awesome party going off.
Well, look, I think one of those that sort of has the staying power that still, I'm sure, would give you the feels because it's got such an epic reverse bass is the next one that's coming up at number 8. Now, this was actually played at the end of Qlimax in 2013. It was done by a duo who have been sort of one of those iconic acts that everybody looks forward to, even though they haven't had as many tracks released as quite a few of the other people in this list. They're an instantly recognizable act, and they're always exciting, always kind of just have
it's
that
the
stage
duo.
presence.
It's like when you see them walk into the club, the party has officially started.
Hell yeah. Of course, we're talking none other than Deepack. The Qlimax Anthem for 2003 is one of those tracks that people just still hold dear to their hearts. And like I said, it was played at the end of Qlimax. So at the end of all the hardcore from Qlimax last year, this track came on and it went off. Everybody stayed and partied on. It's
a real special moment, wasn't it?
Absolutely. So then what better way to kick off the 8th spot here in the top 1000 than Deepack with The Prophecy.
Qlimax.
Time perfectly sums up this one in the background.
Or would you say timeless classic?
That's mixing it up, isn't it? Two equally valid compliments, I think.
Because, I mean, to say it was ahead of its time is kind of misunderstood and underappreciated, which I don't think is the case because so many people voted for it, coming in at number 8. And, of course, it was produced in 2003 for Qlimax. So by then, you know, it was there, people were loving it, wasn't really ahead of its time, it's quite current for its time. But now that people are still enjoying it now, I'd say it's a timeless classic.
Yeah, relevant then, relevant now.
Exactly the case. And there's no other people who have been more relevant back then and now than our favourite Italian duos.
Oh, of course. And that's like I said, you know, we've been working out how many tracks from different artists and producers have, you know, made it into the charts and stuff. And you know, there's been some amazing. Frontliner was smashing it, Angerfist was smashing it. Of course, Headhunterz was smashing it, but I think, you know, if you rolled all the different aliases together into one thing, I don't think anybody would have wrote more bangers than Techno Boy and Tune Boy under the various guises.
Absolutely. The Hunter, Builder, Citizen, and, of course, Techno Boy and Tune Boy is TNT.
Yeah.
But this one that's coming up now is obviously their most highest one. It's coming in at number 7, and it kind of, the artist name, I think, personally, and it describes their relationship. It really does. If people have seen Techno Boy and Tune Boy sort of backstage as they get, you know, talk to each other, they really are the two best enemies. Because they're best friends, but at the same time they can be at each other's throats.
I was going to say the Italian passion and fire, especially when they're in the studio together.
Absolutely.
It's like kind of like, but every time that relationship just brings pure magic.
Coming in at number 7, the two best enemies with Phases, and this is the Techno Boy Romantic Remix.
and opposites attract. Can you dig it? It takes the physical to create the physical. Phase 2. The flower blossoms through what seems to be a concrete surface, i.e., greed, racism, insanity, physical and social handicaps. These are the things that mold the flower. Red rose or black rose, no in between. Phase 3, the judgment. If it were to fall upon you today, which flower would you be? The red rose or the black? Or black rose, no in between.
Yes, you're in tune to Q-Dance Radio's top 1,000 tracks of all time. And if you've just joined us now, where have you been this weekend?
What's going on? Letting the team down.
Myself, Kutsky and Audio Freak, we've been grafting away since Thursday afternoon, bringing you 1,000 awesome Hardstyle tracks, and we're almost at the end of our journey now. This one in the background, climbing up from number 14 last year to number 7 this year. Two Best Enemies.
Absolutely amazing, absolutely. As we climb up the list, we're going to move to one of the most influential hardstyle tracks for me. I don't know if it was for you, but as a producer, when I heard this, the atmosphere, the whole breakdown, everything about it, sort of, and the kick as well, it's just everything just screamed power and epicness. It was an anthem for a party, so it's not just an anthem in the sense that, you know, a lot of people like the track, but an anthem for a party that really, in my opinion, sort of set the spirit of the party. I'm talking about none other than The Power of the Mind. The Qlimax anthem for 2007 from Headhunterz. It's come in number 6. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's hit the track, let's get into it.
Explore the power of the mind. undiscoverable by modern science.
The intention of our minds is powerful and a curse.
Qlimax.
The power of the mind.
Explore the power of the mind. Qlimax.
Awesome track in the background there from Headhunterz.
The Power of the Mind, the Qlimax anthem for 2007. And listen, if you talk to anyone from my country, they will agree that it is epic upon epic upon epic. It's just one of those tracks that's just big.
Yeah, see, that came in at number 6 this year, and it was number 5 last year. But the guy, you know, he can't be angry with the guy that knocked him off the position because it was another track of his own.
Coming in at number 5, yes, another track from Headhunterz. So he's gone on the back-to-back. This one was released in 2010, and it's one of those tracks that, you know, there's a little bit more to reality than meets the normal eye, isn't there, John?
You could say that. In fact, somebody did say that on the vocal.
I think he did. Coming in at number 5, Headhunterz with Psychedelic.
There is more to reality than meets a normal eye. Behind the curtain of everyday consciousness is hidden another unutterably strange mental universe. Unutterably strange mental universe. more to reality than meets a normal eye. Behind the curtain of everyday consciousness is hidden another, unutterably strange mental universe. Those who believe in the value of psychedelic drugs see no clear distinction.
It's all about classics now on Q Dance Radio with myself, Kutski, and Audio Freak as we get into the pure anthems in our Top 1000 journey this weekend. This one in the background at number 5 from Headhunterz, it's Psychedelic.
And right now we're joined on the line by, could you say, one of the pioneers of the raw sounds?
I would say the pioneer of the raw styles.
I mean, he's been, sticking to his guns, doing his thing in his way, the only way he knows how. And he's, been doing really, really well in the top. So I'm talking about the one and only B-Front. Hey. Say hello, B-Front.
Yo, guys. How are you, man? Still alive? Still alive?
Barely. We're just hanging in there. There's only a couple more tracks to go. And how are you doing? How was your weekend so far?
I'm great. I'm recovering, man. It was a hell. It was a really good hell, but it was a hell, man. HCA was really cool. I got another radio interview on Friday, and yesterday I had 2 gigs, so... Yeah, it was a good weekend again, a good week, and but recovering today, man. Still really have to recover because it was a heavy week.
Awesome. It's always good to be busy in this game, and you're really killing it at the moment, man. Things are going really well for you at the moment. Keeping busy with gigs, getting a lot of high profile. I mean, you've played lots of cool festivals over the summer.
Yeah, it's really last year or this year is so good again, and I'm really enjoying it. In the early days, it was like a little kid in a candy shop. But now I learned to enjoy it, So it's really perfect now, and I'm in the studio. It's really going well. Bookings are really going great, and I'm not complaining.
Absolutely not, mate. So as you know, myself and Audio Freak Sam, we've been here in the studio running down tracks. We've worked it out now, 77.5 hours of radio since Thursday Thursday afternoon. Counting
you guys
down.
are crazy, man. You guys are crazy.
Well, we've got to try and set some records somehow, and we've been counting down the top 1,000 tracks, and we've been featuring many of your own productions. Yep. And Audiofreak's got some facts for you to let you know just how successful you've been in this year's poll.
As we were counting down the tracks from last year, you had 11 in the top 1,000 list. Now, this year, you've actually had 5 more. So the cutoff for the tracks is 2011. So you've had 16 of those featured in the top 1,000. And 2 of those have been featured in the top 100. One of those was with Randy. That was the Rebirth Anthem for 2011. And then another one is yet to come. And it was your collaboration with Frontliner. Tell us a little bit about Be Frontliner.
Yeah, you know, it was in 2009, and I know Barry already for a long time, and you know, he's really talented, still rocking it, and you know, I think he's one of the best in the scene, you know, and I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to work with him, and yeah, we did 5 tracks, and yeah, Magic was, I think, the popularest one of all those tracks, and you know, it's a pleasure to work with Barry, and it's funny that the hardest track is the most popular track, you know, and still I still play it every set almost, and people complain to me if I don't play it, you know, that's funny if the track is 5-6 years old already, so yeah, I think Magic is something special. I also get a lot of reactions from the hardcore artists. For example, Drox, you know, he told me he really loved the track.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, and also I got a tweet last week from Martin Voorwerk. You know, he said that he also loved Magic, so that's really, really cool that a lot of people from different scenes like the track, you know. And yeah, I'm still playing it. I'm still loving it also. So.
Yeah, that's the sign of a really true anthem if you can keep playing it for that long. And it's like, you know, and God forbid you don't play it in the set, online people are after on Twitter like, oh man, why didn't you play it? It was such an anthem.
Yeah, that's crazy, you know. And but also about Be Frontliner, we I think next year we're gonna do some new tracks. So that's some exclusively new news. So I think a lot of people gonna enjoy it. So for the future, we're gonna do some new Be Frontliner tracks.
You heard it here first, right here on Q-Dance Radio. So coming up at number 4, from B-Front and Frontliner, it's rough, it's raw, it's Magic right here, right now.
with eyes projecting everything, telling all we seek to share. Believe in our ability, and thus destroy.
Magic. And many thanks to both of those guys who've kind of passed through the studio this weekend to kind of share their thoughts, doing more stuff again next year.
Absolutely.
Really
I think they're a fantastic team. B Frontliner tracks are just really cool. The Million Stars was really cool. Magic, I mean, what can you say? It's up there for a reason. It really is. It's up there for a reason. Crowd favorite. Really, really sick.
So, Audio Freak, you know what that means, don't you? Are you looking at the screen in front of you that I'm looking in front of? We've got 3 tracks remaining.
This is a big...
We started at 1,000. We now have 3.
We've whittled away through 997 to get to this moment. Now, this was, once again, another anthem. Now, for those that don't know anything about hardstyle, shame on you, but there's a party in the summer of Europe that's called DEFCON 1, and this is one of the anthems for that party. And what to say about it? I mean, Headhunterz is one of those guys that somehow, somewhere, he manages to strike a chord with, almost everybody that loves the hardstyles. There's something about his music, and this is obviously no exception. The way that he's put this together, the tribal feeling, it really encapsulates DEFCON 1 in 5 minutes. It's perfect, absolutely perfect. I'm talking about none other than Scrap Attack. Coming in at number 3, of course, Headhunterz with Scrap Attack.
DEFCON 1, created out of used materials, transformed into trashed hybrids, feasting on our waste. Before they are erased, they strike back. DEFCON 1. Transformed into trashed hybrids. Take over. DEFCON 1, a whole new taste. By men, they are chased. Red skin, black eyes, blue blood, silver teeth, green wings, brown claws, purple tail, gray hair, orange heart. DEFCON 1. back. Scrap attack. Attack.
Headhunterz in the background with Scrap Attack, a non-mover at number 3. It's getting exciting now, Sam. It's kind of like the tension's building up, because the thing is, there's 2 tracks left in our chart, and there's 2 big tracks.
Both of them, the importance to the scene, the influence that they've had, and just how big they are, cannot be overstated. I'm getting a little bit nervous, actually, because these are so big, they're so important to me, and to be able to hear them, after 79 odd hours of being on the air is just, I need to catch my breath.
I know, that's the thing with it. And then the thing is, when we announce this number 2, that's almost as important as announcing the number 1, because in a way we kind of are announcing number 1, because there's 2 tracks that are missing from this list.
That's right.
And there's 2 places left, so whichever one comes at number 2 is dictating which is going to get number 1.
It's a bit like the Miss Universe contest when you announce the runner-up, but the winner already knows that she's won.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. So, look,
I know number 2 that's come in is a track that's very, very special to you, Sam.
Absolutely. It's like I said before, its importance, its influence cannot be overstated. As far as I'm concerned, it's one of those tracks that, in Australia, everybody knows. It's one of those hands in the air moments, and it's the way the whole break was constructed, the strings, the bells, the vocals, everything is deep and meaningful. I think it's as important as the number 1. I think, to me, it is the number 1. But it's taken the number 2 spot. I'm talking about the collaboration between Headhunterz, Wildstylez, and Noisecontrollers.
In at number 2 this year for 2014, as voted for by you,
City is up. Their hands. Bouncing souls packed into the moment. The heavy sky splits open. Time floats frozen. Tonight, the stars ignite like fireflies. Tonight is burning a hole in the sky. Tonight is beaming straight across the universe. Burning a hole in the sky. Tonight is beaming straight across the universe. splits open, a foot above the ground. The DJ spins a galaxy of black vinyl for the gods that came to dance. Tonight, the whole city is ours.
An epic anthem in the background from 2009. Headhunterz, Wildstylez, Noisecontrollers take the number 2 slot this year in the Q-Dance Top 1000 Hardstyle tracks of all time with Tonight.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I believe this should have been number 1, but obviously the people out there have voted otherwise.
I would love to know how many votes were the difference between it. Yeah. Because it has to have been close. Oh. Still holding the number 2. It was number 2 last year. It's number 2 again this year, which can only mean one thing. There is one massive track in the hardstyle scene, which I class as the definitive anthem to our genre of music. It was number 1 last year, and it hasn't been in the list this year.
Well, look, you know, there's only one track that kind of sums up what hardstyle is all about. It's got a fantastic kicking bass, the sounds that are dotted all the way through it. It just seemed to really bite at you. It's the only way I can describe it. They bite at you, they grab your attention, and of course the break with the vocals and everything, it's so deep and meaningful. It has become like a life statement for many people around the world who are into the harder styles.
It really is. I think when that track first dropped, you know, people heard it and there was just something about the vocal that just resonated with everybody, exactly how passionate they felt about the music, and every element about that music ticks the box for why we love hardstyle music. So I believe it's well worthy, and it's my personal number 1, and it's yours too. As voted for by you on Q Dance Radio for 2014 in the Top 1000 poll, the number 1 track is...
The Q-Dance Harder Styles Top 1000 number 1 track is... Fuck the System.
Yo, what's up, guys? We are Showtek, and we're so honored that our track FTS is back again at the number 1 spot. Thanks so much for the support, and it's awesome that the track we produced 8 years ago is still running so strong. So thanks a lot, and enjoy it.
Freaks on E, that's what we fuck, man. Alright, yo, 1 2 1 2. Yo, this is what I love and can't stop loving. Get wasted at parties from 9 till 7 in the morning. I live for the music, rolling blunts, feeling high, getting loaded, or take some pills and go to La La Land. Spending all my money on dope and extreme high-price tickets, but in the end it's all worth it. I like to live in my own world. Fuck regular life, fuck a 9-to-5 job. I'm told to enjoy every moment, every hour, every minute. That's what I do on Fridays and Saturdays. Why should I take life so seriously? I just want to do what I like to do, be it far from reality, cause I can't stand society. It's my own world, I just want to hear the music. I think the whole system fucking sucks. Everybody's working their fucking ass off during the week, getting totally fucking stressed out. So what's wrong and what's right? I live for the weekend. I live for Hardstyles. I live for Hardstyle, baby. Come on, let's go. That's what we fuck, man.
And as the last beats drip out of the speaker, I look at the counter for how long we've been on air, and we are officially 25 seconds off 78 hours of broadcasting.
Can we just talk a little bit more?
I think we should do, just in case there's like, you know, a Guinness World Record at stake here. I think we can kind of grind a few more seconds out. Come on, Sam, we've managed, like, you know, kind of...
Absolutely. Well, look, it's been an honor and privilege to co-host the show to you. Big thanks to all the producers that have made this music and made this possible. And, of course, a huge thank you to Qdance for giving us this radio studio, being able to hijack the airwaves and infect you with the sounds that actually the listeners have voted for. This is your top 1,000, not our top 1,000. We didn't vote for this. Well, we did. But you're the ones that are in control, not us. So the number one track, FTS from Showtek, that's your favorite.
Yeah, I just want to say a big thanks to everybody that's been in touch on all social media, kept us company all weekend. It's like, you know, obviously me and Sam love the music as much as anyone possibly can, but there's been some dark moments through our kind of like journey since Thursday through the middle of the night, and it's just great to kind of, you know, check online and see all the bands. You know, we found kind of Nigel's mouse, the mouse wandering around the office, found a spider in the studio that we decided to give a name. We've still got to give a burial because he passed away. And all the way through the journey, we've had like amazing company for you guys online. So thanks very much to everybody who was locked in. And I guess the only thing that's left to say is see you same time, same place next year.
Absolutely. We out.